have the footage.
And greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, and loving life. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button for me. There is a PayPal link down in the details section for anybody who wants to show some love. And we're not doing a panel today. I just wanted to do a quick review. I just watched this video. It's a 5-minute video. Mom slaps school bus driver holding children hostage. Neighborhood wars from A&E, and the link is down in the description for anybody who wants to go watch that. We're going to do a quick review on it, and it relates to a series of videos I did here a while back called Hitler's Willing Executioners, and so that's why the title is Hitler's Willing Executioners. And we have here a modern example of a demand for documentation, and this is the epitome of somebody just doing their job. Despite the reality of the physical presence of the ultimate caretakers of the very children that they are in public service, which is a public trust to take care of for that ultimate caretaker and not the person they are employed with. This is the epitome of idiocy, people, of following directives despite the reality. So let's take a look at this. From Dallas, Georgia.
It's 3 p.m. Samantha Lee and her neighbors are gathered like they do every school day at the neighborhood bus stop, waiting to pick up their young children.
It's a large bus stop. A lot of kids get off at this bus stop, and a lot of parents are there waiting for their kids.
But today, there's a substitute driver, a middle-aged woman who is not letting the children off the bus.
This is an immediate disassociation, and it goes to the fact that the bus driver that has been driving them and is a regular person in public service, studiously doing their job and does care for the children and therefore has a personal knowledge from a personal connection. And now we have somebody that's substituted that doesn't have that personal connection, and therefore it's a disconnection and an easier or more gosh, I don't even know how to explain it here. It's the idiocy of the simple statement of I'm just doing my job. And we're going to hear the requirement for documentation for children. I hope you understand the connotation here. This is modern day, and yet not only are we dealing with the fact that they're demanding papers from full-grown, free individual living souls, but now they're demanding documentation from minors, the children themselves, because they themselves don't have that personal connection of already knowing.
Concerned, Samantha begins recording as her 9-year-old daughter Chloe and her 5-year-old son Carter are inside.
It was like, why was she not letting the kids off the bus?
What the hell is she doing? Who is she talking to?
The driver looks agitated as she shouts into the bus's radio, and it worries the parents.
I'm feeling very confused and scared, to be honest with you.
And now, a mundane daily routine starts to get uncomfortable when all of a sudden,
Come on, baby.
the driver takes off.
What the? Hey! Hey!
Now, as the title of that A&E article says, take the children hostage. By holding them on the bus, that is the hostage situation. By moving them from that place, despite her job and her demand or her employer's demand for paperwork, this is by record because it's a commercial demand in a commercial system that is stealing one of the children of the brethren of Israel and making merchandise of them. They're placating that the commercial instrument is the authority, and denying my yea be my yea, my nay be my nay. That is my child, a child of God, and I have a higher duty in that trustee position to, as that caretaker, to take care of that child more so than you and any document you have.
When the bus stops at the end of the street, Samantha gets in front of it to prevent the driver from leaving again.
Absolutely not. Did somebody call the police yet?
Samantha and the other parents feel helpless as they wait for police to arrive.
Right, what's going on? Situation. Okay. We have kids that don't have any documents on their. Okay, nice.
Where I have kids that don't have any documents on their book bags to let them off. So they're demanding identification from children. Do you understand the implications here?
But they've been doing it for the same routine.
She said that some kids didn't have documentation to get off of the bus, but my daughter didn't need documentation to get off of the bus. She was 9 years old.
While the driver claims to be following protocol.
Okay, so now we have another inconsistency where, again, this is why I say the public education system is the indoctrination of the legal system. And that's what they're looking for, is the legal name on those documentations or some kind of connection. So when we have these people that are demanding documentation for children to prove that they're able to let them off at that bus stop, there comes a point where there's an age that they no longer need the paperwork. So we have a place. So we now we have the situation where we have children that need documentation up to a certain point, and then they don't have to have documentation up to a certain point, which is the age of 18 or whenever they graduate school or decide to drop out. Then they present this presumption that they are required to have adult identification of some sort. Now they have to have documentation again. So it shows an inconsistency to begin with in that process of documentation. Why is it certain people are required to have documentation according to an age, and then somewhere along that age line, they're not required to have documentation, and then later on along that same age timeline, they again are required to have some kind of documentation? What is the inconsistency? Why is it an inconsistency? And what is the differences between the one point where they're required to have identification and then a point in time where they're not required to, and then again they're required to have documentation again? What are the differences between those two sections in time?
The parents are frustrated because she won't release any kids, even children whose parents are there in person to meet them.
Okay, what's going on?
The cops are on their way.
Okay.
The driver eventually opens the door, and a few of the worried parents rush on to retrieve their kids.
Chloe, get off the bus.
But things quickly turn ugly when the driver allegedly pushes one of the parents, and the parent slaps her.
Are you nuts?
Clearly stunned, the driver suddenly slams the door shut and puts her foot on the gas.
Now she's endangering their lives. Those kids are screaming and wanting to be let off. They know themselves something is terribly wrong, and they are in fear. That's why they're screaming. Why the fuck aren't people listening? Damn it, this makes me so fucking mad. This is why I have passion.
She definitely put the kids' safety at risk. There were so many things in that moment that was going through my head. I was very pissed off. You don't keep a child away from their parents.
An older sibling of a child inside the bus chases after it and jumps through an open window.
Open the door! Open the door!
I went into Mama Bear mode and stopped the bus again by standing in front of it again a second time. And that time
Kudos. Kudos for somebody that's standing as David against a Goliath, a full 10,000, 15,000 pound vehicle.
I wasn't going to move until the police got there.
Ma'am, please let our kids off the bus!
At this point, she wasn't opening the door again. So in order to get their kids off the bus, they were pulling the children off of the bus from the side windows.
Samantha's oldest child, Chloe, is among the lucky students who are able to get off the bus.
How did you get off? Where's Kennedy? We got out this window. Up over there.
It was a completely different type of relief I never knew that I needed when my children got off of the bus.
Thankfully, police arrive moments later.
Nuts. I have it on video from the beginning, sir. She didn't want to let the kids off the bus.
After speaking privately with the driver, police finally release the remaining children to their much relieved parents. Police charge both the driver and the parent who slapped her with simple assault. After an investigation, the school fires the driver for numerous violations that jeopardized student safety.
And that itself should be relief for the very assault that they charged that woman with. Not the bus driver, but the one that smacked her. She had full reason to do that. These people in public service, which is a public trust, are fucking incompetent if they can't think of themselves as children of God themselves. This is the blasphemy of this commercial system, saying I have to do my job above and beyond the spiritual existence of everybody else around me. How fucking stupid and insane are you people?
While the incident is traumatic for all those involved, Samantha says there's a silver lining to the story.
This situation has definitely brought our neighborhood together. We protect each other's kids, and we all had each other's backs that day.
And despite the ordeal of the day, Samantha won't let it change her family.
You would think that I wouldn't allow my children to ride the bus again after this crazy incident.
And I want to make a point here. This is the very thing that I'm talking about. We need to come together as adults, not for ourselves, but for our children. For crying out fucking loud.
But yes, they are back on the bus with their original driver. I just think this was like a freak accident. I don't think this would ever happen again.
No, I think she's wrong. It's because it's not the exact same situation. This type of situation happens regularly and is becoming more and more common. And this is Hitler's willing executioners, the fucking slaves wanting to just do their job so they can go home to their family and their children with a goddamned paycheck. You fucking slaves. Neighborhood wars. It's time to come together as neighbors. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Owe no man anything but to love one another, for that is to fulfill the law. So again, my apologies for my passion if it bothers anybody, but fuck you. This is getting to basically disgrace your own fucking image. The image and likeness of the very creation that you are. It's blasphemy upon your own soul and the soul of everyone around you. In my opinion, of course. It is what it is. Have a good day. Be blessed. Remember, I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back or not. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you and have a good day.